Hello, I'm Angela Nicholson, and I'm the founder of She Clicks, which is a community for female photographers. Today, I'm joined by Tracy Calder, who's co-founder of Close Up Photographer of the Year. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Hi, Angela. I'm fine. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really, really glad to be here.
Oh, you're very welcome. So, can we start by you telling us about the categories for Close Up Photographer of the Year, please?
Yeah, sure. The categories this year are the same as last year. So there's 11 in total. And we've got animals, insects. I should count these on my fingers, shouldn't I? Invertebrate portrait, arachnids, butterflies and dragonflies, underwater, plants, fungi and slime molds, intimate landscape, studio art, and young CUPOTY.
Okay, so quite a lot to go at there. And it's important to remember that it's Close Up Photographer of the Year, not Macro Photographer of the Year. So, you can do macro, but it doesn't have to be macro.
Absolutely. And it's micro as well. So we include all of the three sort of close up areas.
Fabulous. So, perhaps you can start telling us a bit more about the competition.
Yeah, so the competition, we started it in 2018, so this is the seventh year now, which blows my mind. And I kind of started it because I was loving close up, and it kind of made me much more aware of my surroundings, and I became, it became a way of showing people the world in a way they might not have seen before, overlooked subjects, common subjects, seen in a kind of extraordinary way. And yeah, I kind of had the idea in my father-in-law's garden. Wow, wouldn't it be cool to do a competition for that? And it kind of grew from there. So we're really pleased with how it's doing, and everybody seems to be very responding to it really nicely. So that's very good. We're very happy.
Oh, amazing. Is there anything that people who are thinking about entering should bear in mind when they approach the competition?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. The things that we kind of get asked a lot. Firstly, the closing day is this Sunday, which is the 13th. So you need to enter by then, but you still have a week to upload your pictures. So you don't need to rush. You just need to go through the entry process. Then you have a week to upload. So that's one thing. The second thing is just people say, can I enter a photograph that's been entered into another competition? Yes, absolutely fine. I haven't got an issue with that whatsoever. People often ask, how many categories can I enter? You can spread your entries out over all of the categories, apart from the young, obviously. But you can spread yourself out across the categories. That's fine. And if you think you've entered a picture and you think, oh God, I've entered it in the wrong category, I've entered a spider in the plants or whatever, we're not going to discount any picture because of that. So we're very happy to move a picture. We just discreetly move it. So that's no problem. So don't worry about that. There's a kind of a few questions that we get asked quite a lot, and one of them is sort of how close is close up. And to be honest, we have a definition on the website, which is any image that shows the subject closer and in greater detail than would be seen with the naked eye. So to be honest, close up is the spirit of the competition, not its pure definition. So we don't get too scientific, we don't get too hung up on what is macro, what is close up, what is micro. They're all included. And if you're worried at all that your picture isn't close enough, then all you need to do is drop us a line, and my partner Dan will check and say, yes, this is close enough, this can be included or not. So we're not going to discount anybody. No one's going to lose any money by entering something that that's not close up by its definition. So that's one
Okay.
thing. And then a couple other questions we get asked, I guess. AI obviously is rearing its head at the moment, and for us it's a photography competition in its very nature. So images need to start as a photograph. We don't allow generative AI. And we do ask for raw files or the original JPEGs when we get to the shortlisted stage. So be aware that we will ask for those if you're shortlisted. So that's two of the things. Can you enter a photograph that's been entered into another competition? Yes, absolutely. Have no problem at all with that. Very happy to see pictures that have been awarded elsewhere. And people ask how many categories they can enter. Well, once you've paid for your entries, you can spread your images out over as many categories as you like. That's absolutely fine. And if you think you've entered a picture in the wrong category, don't worry, we'll put it in the right one. So that's always good to know. And I guess also copyright, we get asked about copyright quite a bit, and photographers retain the copyright at all times of the pictures. By entering the competition, you retain your copyright, but we may well use the pictures to publicise the competition. I think it's a 3-year window that we have for that. So we would obviously ask your permission if we were going to use it outside of those kind of remits. And then really the only other thing that we get asked quite a lot is, are mobile phone images allowed? Yes, absolutely. In fact, the winner of one of our challenges last year, Linda, her picture was taken with an iPhone. So and Paul Kenny's picture was taken with a scanner. So all kind of technology is fine. So that's completely fine.
Mhm.
And if they have any questions, obviously, all you've got to do is drop us a line and we'll happily answer them. So those are the main kind of questions that we get asked, I would say.
Fantastic. And what are the judges generally looking out for?
Well, I think really, the one thing obviously is impact, first off. So you want to have a sort of, you want to have an emotional response to a picture. And also, I think trying to that emotional gut response shouldn't be underestimated. It's incredibly valuable. So you might think, oh, I love this picture, but I can't explain why. It doesn't matter. If you love it, send it in. So impact, good technique. So any blur or anything like that needs to look intentional and needs to be intentional. And any processing to be carried out sensitively, because we see Instagram, for example, has made a lot of people push that saturation slider up a bit too far, maybe crop a bit tightly, things like that. So just be aware of that when you're, when you're sending in a picture. Good technique. Storytelling, we want to see moments rather than just things. You might want a plant might be leaning over another plant in this sort of protective fashion. So any kind of storytelling element always elevates a picture, I think. And good light. I mean, macro light can be complicated, I know, but good light. So whether you use natural or artificial, it needs to be used sensitively, and to enhance the subject, obviously. And one thing I find happens again and again is composition, is that people macro and close up is so tricky and challenging technically that people forget about the rules of composition. But lead-in lines could be the edge of a petal. You could have, the rule of thirds still counts, for example. Any of those traditional composition techniques and rules still count with macro and close up. So also room to breathe. I think it's really tempting to go in super tight and there's no room around something. So especially with an insect or a plant, you want space for it to move into or grow into. So just don't go in too tight with your crop. So they're looking for a little bit of room to breathe. And obviously focus in macro is absolutely huge. It needs to be where you wanted it to be. And if it's even slightly off with macro, it really does affect the picture. So you need it to be spot on. So the eye is directed to the right parts of the picture in the right order. So yeah, I guess good ethics as well. I mean, macro, especially when we're talking about insects, no chilling, no killing, or disabling an animal in any way. One of the judges often says if an animal or an insect is eating, sleeping, or mating, it tends to be quite still. So you need to do a bit of research, actually do your homework. And you'll find an opportunity. You just be patient, because macro and close up requires a lot of patience. And then so finally with what they're looking for, I guess, creativity, obviously, to show your style and show the ordinary in an extraordinary way is good. And bizarrely, it really helps if you can fill in as much of the caption information as possible. It might, in other competitions, it might not be as relevant, but with us, it's quite important to see, if it's an insect and you're showing an unusual aspect of behavior, that can really give you that extra kind of point. So add in as much information as you possibly can. Sometimes it feels like a bit of a chore, but it really can make a difference in those final stages when we're, looking at behavior and things like that. So that's really important. And just like every year, I guess every year I just learn so much from looking at the pictures from the judges and the photographers. And I always want to go and take a close-up picture when I've spent a couple of hours judging, which I guess is a really good sign. So yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody's got.
Fantastic. You mentioned being creative. Are things like composites or using layers, textures permissible?
Yes, they are completely fine, but they need to go into the studio art category. So that's the category for those. In the other categories, we don't encourage that. It's mainly for studio art. That's where they live.
Great. Well, Tracy, thank you for running me through that. Just to recap, the deadline for actually signing up to enter is the 13th, which is Sunday. And then you've got until the 20th to actually enter the competition, to put your images in.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And you just need to go to the website, CUPOTY.com, and hopefully it should have all the information on there. But if anybody has any questions, just drop us a line. We're very happy to answer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody's got this year. It's always quite an exciting summer to look at everybody's pictures.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, I look forward to seeing them. Okay, well, best of luck, everybody. Yeah, and it's not too late to shoot. It's not too late to go through your archives and find some winning images.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody's got. Very exciting.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Angela. Thank you.